What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever Comic Talk after show. I'm sitting here with my friend Kyle. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. How you doing? I'm doing pretty fine, Nick. Mighty fine.
Basically, we're gonna sit here and we're just gonna chat about some of the stuff that we talked about in the Comic Talk episode, mainly the Batman vs Superman stuff, because, like Kyle said in the video before, he definitely has some opinions.
Pretty angry.
And then we're going to get into a couple other things. We're going to talk about the DC Rebirth stuff. And we're also going to talk about the Captain America thing.
Yes.
And we may possibly get into some Walking Dead talk, but that we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let's start with the Batman vs Superman stuff, man. Ultimately, in a nutshell,
Okay.
What is your rating for Batman vs Superman? Like, what would you give it out of 10?
I would give it about 7 batarangs out of 10. 7 batarangs.
7 batarangs out of 10.
Like,
okay.
I enjoyed it, but I enjoy every comic book movie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There's always a part of those movies where it's like you can't help but enjoy it just because of what the subject.
Just because of
is.
what it is.
So yeah, no, I feel you, but it's still. That's actually a fairly decent rating.
Yeah, okay, considered. Okay, well, would you say lower? Would you give it like a lower amount of batarangs? Possibly like some bad shark repellent?
I think so, yeah. I might go
shark
repellent. I actually have a shirt that's got all those on there. It's got each different thing on it. My least favorite thing about this movie, dude, least favorite thing, and this kind of goes with everything, is like there's no tie-in with any part of the DC universe. Like, I talk about it on Comic Talk a lot.
Because they got like one movie to make all these connections. And like they got to cram everything into this
That is very
movie.
true, man. That is very true. But like I said in one of the episodes, I was talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's a companion to the Avengers. And so every time you watch that show, regardless of its popularity, you know that like at that same moment somebody like Iron Man is doing something. He's affecting that timeline.
I got you.
It's all in the same thing. And they could have easily set Batman vs Superman up with like the Flash or Arrow as well. And a lot of people don't like those shows because those characters are a little too goofy.
Goofy?
People want more serious stuff. People want that serious DC stuff, and I dig it to a certain extent, but I think there's a limit.
I dig it a lot too, and actually like the kind of references like my opinions on like them just like kind of getting rid of the New 52, and like that was one of the complaints, to just like everything's so dark, so serious in the comic book world now.
Did you like
better
the New
get rid of
52
it?
Stuff?
I fucking love the New 52 stuff.
Really?
I think I'm the only person that loves.
No,
the New
there's
52 stuff.
a handful of people that enjoy the New 52 stuff.
Okay.
I myself am not one of those.
Just like I didn't like it at all.
I mean,
what are you doing here, Kyle?
I didn't really. I mean, I get that it's a hard reboot. They wanted to just start completely fresh, get rid of all the backstory, all of it. But why? Those stories are so great, man.
Okay.
Like, I get it's hard.
Yeah, okay,
so I get it's difficult.
100% agree that like why, like I get the asking that question, like why would you just like reboot everything, and at the same time like why would you just like cut yourself off from like all these like really great stories, and like
you take the ability of just having more stories.
Yeah, and then just like I get it, just like as a fan, like I definitely like appreciate it, just like when everything's like in continuity, and you can go back and pick out these like sprinkle and these like little fine details, and like as you're reading, you're just like, oh my god, I fucking get that.
Because that happened, this happened.
Like, you just like connect the dots.
I love that, man.
So I get that. But at the same time, I don't think it's a legitimate reason to not like the New 52. I don't at all. I mean, because like you can have... Okay, so the New 52 is just like it's in the name. It's New 52. So like you can have the things that you like that you described like in the New 52. Is just gonna take time, 50 years for you to get there. If you give it a chance.
I also didn't like the artwork. That was another
that's legit.
That's a real big problem I had with the New 52.
The only artwork that I liked was from the Batman, the New 52. That was the only one that I liked. Did you not like that one?
It's just the suit, man. It had the little like ridges, and it was like light gray.
Yeah.
And it was just weird to me. It's like futuristic. It's kind of stepping forward, into modern times and trying to bring it into the new, but like It's just a little too Japanime for me.
I'm just happy that he learned how to put his underwear on the inside.
Yeah, very true. I will give him that.
That's what I love about that artwork.
But the underwear, provides some separation.
Okay.
You gotta have definition.
There's
not
no
too much
utility.
definition. They don't want lines all over the place. I just want just give me just a little, a little Speedo.
I would say, oh God, what's the name? I can't believe I'm blanking on the name of the guy who, Joel Schumacher with the, that was some very much attention to detail guys with those bat suits.
Yeah, New 52, I liken to Joel Schumacher's Batmans.
You liked it, Joel Schumacher?
No, okay. I liken them to that. The New 52 is very much a Joel Schumacher attempt at the story of not just Batman, but the rest of the DC universe. So,
okay, I think I could kind of get on board.
That's just me though, man. So,
but yeah, I will agree with just the majority of the artwork. I was just kind of it wasn't bad. It's just kind of meh. Yeah, it's fine.
Just didn't get me, man.
It's cool.
Just didn't get me.
But on another note. Okay, so one of the other things I liked about the New 52 was just you got to see a really attempt from DC to just okay, we're starting over and we're gonna make it just this whole diverse group of superheroes. I could really tell them trying to push that.
They were, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Grayson?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm reading Grayson right now.
Really?
Too bad. It's gotta fucking end because
yeah. At this point, man, if you are reading a New 52 story, you can finish it if you want to, but you may as well just jump ship and just start on Rebirth because it's all fresh, it's all new. From this point on, you're following a totally different storyline. All that stuff in New 52 is gone, and we're kind of back to where we were. Honestly,
yeah,
they were like, okay,
we
messed up. We're gonna take it back. We're gonna just roll back the clock a little bit.
This resembles Square One a little bit.
a little bit. Well, just a small, tiny bit. Which, speaking of Square One, honestly, let's talk about Captain America real fast. Well, I haven't really read too much news about it, but what I do know is I know that the Captain America now, Sam Wilson, is good. He is a good Captain America. But throughout this entire time, Captain America has been a double agent for Hydra.
Apparently.
How?
Apparently.
That's that story. Dude, have you heard this? Sidebar here, but have you heard the story about the Sand Superman?
No.
Sandman Superman?
Sandman Superman? I've never heard this.
There's a story.
Please share.
A long time ago, and I can't remember the specifics of it, but a long time ago, there's a Sandman story where Superman he dies, and he dies in the Fortress of Solitude, and it caves in on him, and the body gets buried, and people think that he was replaced by the Sandman character because he, throughout subsequent stories of the Superman line, he wasn't so much he wasn't required to get power from the sun as much. Sun wasn't a big thing for him, and there were a lot of different things like kryptonite didn't affect him in the same way as it did before. Okay. And so a lot of people think that Superman was replaced with this other Superman, which kind of falls in with the Man of Steel storyline. They were saying that some of the Man of Steel stuff was also part of the same character being transferred into a new Superman. Basically, the character, the Sandman, he's like the absorbing man. He absorbed power.
This is the first time I'm hearing about any of this.
So
this is all new
look
to
it
me.
Up. It's really it's a really interesting theory, man. It really is, because if they did follow through with it, it's similar to what the Captain America thing is. It's if they did follow through with it, like they did with Captain America, it could have been just as earth-shattering for Superman as it is for Captain America.
Jesus,
it's essentially what they've done with Captain America.
My theory was way more tame about why Captain America is all of a sudden.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm not necessarily trying to say
way less imaginative than
that. They did that with the Spider-Man stuff, the clone of Spider-Man. That's the reason why people theorized that they didn't go through with that Superman story, because Marvel beat him to the punch with the Spider-Man stuff.
That makes sense.
It was supposed to be a really long spread out arc that was, the end of Superman's career was going to be hey, this isn't Superman. This is actually Superman. So
That'd be kind of fucked up. Like, no, like just like all of a sudden, just like, hey, this guy you've been reading, not really
him, yeah.
not really Superman.
Which is almost exactly what's happening with Captain America.
Like, I liken that to like those, like when you read those books and it's just like, oh, you were asleep the whole time. Everything was a dream.
Exactly. Exactly. Or even the Flash finale.
Okay, so even the Flash finale.
They did that, man. Flashpoint.
I was about to say, yeah, they started up like the whole like Flashpoint thing now.
It's interesting, man. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do this. I don't know how they're gonna do it, man. There's no Batman. There's no Batman.
I know.
I mean, they've got Green Arrow. They can do that.
Wait, do they have Thomas Wayne like at all?
No.
Okay, no.
But
I was about to say because like they could maybe possibly make it work if they had like Thomas Wayne. Like I'm fine. Like only if he was Batman. But
yeah, but then but the problem
Batman.
with that is that they don't own the rights to that, so they can't be like Batman exists because then people like me will be like Batman exists. Where is Batman? But
why did you waste time on Gotham?
Exactly, dude. I don't want to talk about Gotham. I've got problems with Gotham. They are really messing up.
Probably.
But so back to the Captain America thing.
Okay.
What are your ultimate feelings?
Okay, so
what's your theory?
I am hurt. First of all, that they've done this to Captain America, who's probably like one of my. Probably in the top 10 of like my favorite superheroes.
Me too.
Like,
man.
I'm not like really down with him being, a supervillain because it's just like it hurts to like see this guy that you've like basically grown up with.
Dude, he
like literally grown up with. He always good.
Exactly. He represents good.
He represents good.
He is what good is, but I guess that's
why they had to do it.
That's why they felt the need.
I mean, because like I still hold out hope, just like a little bit of hope that's like it's not him. It's like a super scroll or something that's just like brainwashed everybody into thinking this. That is like my hope. That is like my pipe dream that this isn't real.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be real with you.
I'm just gonna be honest with you,
because I mean, you kind of got to think. Okay, you've got a new Captain America, right?
True.
Sam Wilson is Captain America now. And if they're going to try and push his story, do they really want to use the same villains as Captain America had? Do we really want to see
you know
Red
what?
Skull?
This kind of makes perfect sense now. I mean, because like in the new 52, the new Superman comes who is also a black person. His name is Val-Zod. And like one of the enemies that he has to face is like this clone of Superman.
Yeah.
And it's like the dark side like minion of Superman. And so like they have him ballot out. So like that means like a lot, mostly because like you see this newcomer, like this like new like person who's like stepping into these iconic shoes, just kind of like go toe to toe with like the OG Superman.
Right. Who is kind of better.
Yeah.
The battle of the best. Battle of the newest and best.
Arguably. Nick thinks he's better. That's fine for now. That's cool.
Kidding, man.
It's all good. Anyway, so maybe Marvel's trying to do something like similar to that, where just like you're gonna prove yourself by destroying the thing that we made you. By destroying like the shoes that you're feeling right now, the icon. This is how you prove yourself.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and it honestly would sell. Like people would pick that up.
I was about to say people like. I think that was. I'm not sure. Like that was probably like the one with Val-Zod, the new Superman in like Earth 2 and stuff like that. When he fought Superman, like that was probably like one of the best selling ones.
That and probably the big Batman arc.
Yeah.
What was it?
Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame. Which, by the way, have you heard the news?
What news is this
about the Joker?
Is this the one where like Batman learns his name? Or
Okay. Well, this is how they set it up.
Fine.
They set it up like, hey, we're gonna tell you who the Joker is, and then last pages they're like, there's not just one Joker. There's three Jokers, which is ridiculous. You can't do that, man. Like Batman fights this one guy. It's one guy. That's the whole reason why they're the opposite of each other. You can't have three fucking people.
Like, I wonder how that works. Like, did they communicate with each other? Like, did they clock in? Just like
I think it was. If I remember what I read, it was that the Joker from The Killing Joke is one, and then the Joker.
Oh, so the Joker from The Killing Joke is a completely
different
separate Joker.
Exactly. So this is that's a completely separate story arc, but and obviously it ties into the rest of it, but it's still a different person.
Yeah. All right.
So
Cool, man.
I think that's one, and then obviously the Rebirth, whatever the one that they're doing for Rebirth is one of them because it's the newest storyline.
Yeah.
And then I think the other, I honestly can't remember what the other one is. It may have been the earlier, like the Golden Age or Silver Age Joker, you know. I think that's how they broke it down.
I was saying because like the only part of this story that I knew was that like they revealed that like it's 3 Jokers now. I had no idea like the details.
Yeah, it's they're actually defined by certain like parts of the Batman story, the mythos. You know, like so certain ones are different Jokers, which is still like that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it really doesn't.
Like there were moments in the comic book where those stories still cross over into other stories that weren't that same Joker. So does that mean that these Jokers get together at the end of the day and say, what did we do today to fuck with Batman? Like, what did you say to Batman? Tell me, give me a script.
Just so I was about to say, so I can know what to say.
I need witty remarks next time I see Batman. What can I say? But I don't understand it, man. There's a lot of things going on in the comic book world right now that I get they're trying to kind of reinvent and, you know, entice new readers in, but you're really fucking shit up, man. Both of you. Marvel and DC, y'all are just really trashing shit up.
Dropping the ball.
I am excited about
dropping the ball.
I am excited about Rebirth though, dude.
Yeah, I am. Well, okay, so I know a little bit about Rebirth. Okay. Like I know some
Please
spoilers.
Tell me,
like
I'm not gonna.
I don't want to drop the spoilers.
I don't mind spoilers. There will be
so,
spoilers in the title if you give spoilers. Okay, so let's just do it.
Spoiler alert, just in case this guy, you know, forgets something. But anyway, so they're crossing over like the DC universe, like from Rebirth, and like crossing over with the Watchmen. And
I did read that about Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan. Like, so, you know, like, if you've seen the Watchmen movie, like, at the end, like, Dr. Manhattan just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. So I'm going to just, he just, like, dips out on, you know, reality or whatever the fuck. And so he just, like, basically decides he's going to, like, create his own, like, universe. And so, like, what happens is, like, Dr. Manhattan just, you know, like, cruising around the universe. Yeah, he just like he can like
grocery shopping.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's like. And this actually ties into like what we were talking about earlier about like how people thought like the New 52 was like really dark and like gruesome and stuff.
Yeah.
So like apparently like the thing is just like, you know, Dr. Manhattan like finds, you know, the New 52 universe, opens it up, and he's just like,
let me play with this.
What would happen if I took every single ounce of happiness out of this universe? And just let the chips fall as they may. What would happen if I just, like, there was no joy whatsoever? And you get the New 52,
well, apparently. Yeah, we know what happens. We know what happens.
What happens is you don't sell comic books. That's what happens.
So are you saying, let me just see if I get what you're saying. So you're saying that because he opens the New 52, drains it of all its happiness, he decides later, let me restart.
Yeah, like that's basically what it is. That's like the Rebirth. He's just like, because like Dr. Manhattan's kind of a fucking dick in this. He's
a dick anyway.
Yeah,
he literally is a walking dick. I mean, you see his dick for a solid like an hour.
For like an hour.
The whole fucking movie, he's got just dick out.
So yeah, okay. So like, I guess you know, it kind of makes sense. Like if you just like one of those like from a Nazi scientist perspective, just like I'm gonna run an experiment. And I don't care what happens to the people involved. I'm going to take this variable out.
Right.
And then I'm just going to see what happens. And that's exactly what he does. And it's just like, and then once it's all over, he's just like, that was fun.
I saw a page, I guess it was Batman. It had to have been a Batman, I guess, for the Rebirth story just in general. It was the last page, I believe. Mm-hmm. Batman's in his cave and you see the dinosaur and the coin. And so we know it's all back to where it was.
Yeah.
And then he goes to a wall, and there's a Watchman badge stuck in the wall.
Yep.
And that was really cool for me. I'm actually really excited about Rebirth, dude. Like,
also, like on the cover, like, and you see all the superheroes like reaching out, and you see like the blue hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Dr. Manhattan's hand. Yeah.
Oh, see, I haven't even really given a solid look at the cover, dude.
Yeah.
I need to go pick that up.
Yeah. Go pick it up, guys.
Yeah, go pick it up. Go support the brick and mortar, guys.
Indeed.
So, do we want to talk about?
What else is there to talk about? I mean, we could talk about our theories on The Walking Dead.
We could
about
talk
who
about
died.
That. So who died on The Walking Dead? Is it Daryl or is it Maggie?
I'm going with Daryl.
You're going with
I'm
Daryl?
going with 100% Daryl.
I still believe that they could possibly kill Maggie.
But what you're actually saying is that you think it's Daryl.
I think it's Daryl. Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I think that, especially after our conversation earlier, that I'm swayed to believe that it's more than likely Daryl.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I was telling him, Daryl's got a new TV. Daryl Dixon. Norman Reedus speaking to him like he is Daryl.
No, Norman Reedus. Daryl. He's Daryl.
He's Daryl forever. He always will be. He was Boondock Saint. Now he's
just
Daryl. But so Norman Reedus has a new show on AMC that he's under contract for. It's a motorcycle show where he'll be kind of like traveling the U.S. and hanging out with people and their motorcycles. So that means that he's not going to be around the lot necessarily to play Daryl. But there is, man, a couple of things that I'm slightly confused on. And I know we talked about it. It was like, it would suck if they just killed somebody that wasn't important.
Yeah, that wasn't important. I would feel so betrayed if they did that.
And what's the guy? I need to feel
a sense of loss.
What's the guy that brought them to the Alexandria?
Ah,
you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. God,
there's a
Norman. The guy with the backpack.
Yeah, the guy with the backpack.
God.
Norman Reedus and Greg Nicotero both independently posted a photo on Instagram of the Nicotero's workshop there at KMB, and it basically had it was like a prosthetic full body thing in the background, and it was Norman Reedus like, what's, you know, like, oh, what's that? And then somebody on the internet took that picture and blew it up and repositioned it, and you can see that the model is that guy.
And God, so damn it.
I'm nervous I was nervous after seeing that it would be that guy, but I really think that it won't be. Like, I really...
Is it like them trying to like throw us off the trail?
No, I think he may die. Okay. It's possible, dude. It's highly possible. Negan is such a freaking scary dude that he may take Daryl out and just say, "Oh yeah, you too,
you too,"
and just beat the shit out of that guy too.
You too.
So that is entirely plausible. I think that could happen. He may not just stop at one.
Okay. But just as long as one of the people I care about dies, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Just as long as one of them dies.
It needs to be one of them. I mean, think about the last seasons, and I have kind of a problem with the most recent seasons because of the direction that it's headed in. You know, they use a lot of the same directors that they used in the first two seasons, but the big thing that's missing from the overall picture of The Walking Dead is Frank Darabont.
Ah, yes, because so true. Didn't they massively just like kind of screw him over?
No, he signed on, I believe, for the first two seasons. That was all he was going to do. And then he was going to hand it off. Because he's one of those directors that, like, you know, he gets to a point where if he does a TV show or if he does a movie, after a while, he's like, okay, I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm done with this. But the thing is that drastically changed the show. I mean, you're talking about, think about it, the first two seasons, how much music was in it?
I can't even think back that far.
There was almost little to none, dude. The first episode had a song at the end. The first episode, when he walks into Atlanta and he gets devoured, the horse gets eaten.
Yeah.
You know, they do that, like, I don't even know what song it was. It's terrible to me, but it's like sounded like a 90s song. And I was like, Frank Darabont is stuck in the times, man. Like, he does not know what fucking era he's living in right now. But
people like music, Frank.
After that moment, though, and they didn't have music. That was a big thing about the show. Even in production, behind the scenes production stuff, they would say, like, we don't use soundtracks. Like, we let the crickets and the air and the sounds of the atmosphere be what conveys the mood. And here in recent seasons, they've just been like, whatever, let's just put music over it.
I'm not gonna lie, I have enjoyed like a lot of the music that they put on there.
Some of it's good, but my huge issue is that you can't play top 40 songs that just came out. It's the apocalypse.
I came in like a wreck.
There's no Miley Cyrus song there, but you know, like they did that "Take Me to Church."
Yeah.
That stuff's on. Now maybe he got did he get famous from Walking Dead?
Hoosier? Oh no. That was the other guy.
He was on Talking Dead. Didn't he perform on Talking Dead?
No, I don't think it was Hoosier. It was this guy's on my phone right now.
But it's the same sort of type.
But it's the same type of music. Yeah,
same feel. But that's what I mean. Like, you can't play that kind of stuff and expect me to be stuck in that. Like, be actually in that universe.
Okay, so here's where I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're talking about the same guy whose name I cannot remember for the life of me right now. If we're talking about the same guy, like he wears like a hat and like his hair is really long. But anyway, the kind of music he does, or at least the kind of music he produced for the shows, like really got that kind of old bluesy, kind of like rustic feel to it. Yeah. And so like when I hear that playing and like this is one scene where like, okay, so you remember like I forget what season it is, where Rick and the governor are like sitting down in the farmhouse and like everything ends.
Season 3, season 4,
something like that.
The end of season 3.
Yeah, they're sitting down in the farmhouse and like they walk away just like, oh yeah, we're friends now, and then like they go back to their respective bases.
Oh, I know what scene. Yeah, that is a great scene.
Yeah, and that guy did that music and like it was just like it totally worked for that.
You're right. Yeah, that did work out, and music does obviously have that effect on scenes. Sometimes like they almost probably sat there and were like, man, this is too empty. We need music. Like it's just we're gonna do a montage.
Two guys staring at each other.
If we're gonna do a montage, let's let's do this, let's put some music in it. But I just feel like for me it takes me out of it a little bit, because when I'm in that world, I want to believe that I'm
you are
in that
the
world.
Apocalypse.
And the having the sounds of nature really sold me that. Like it really put me in that mood. And
I get that.
Greg Nicotero, who has directed a lot of the episodes over the last couple of seasons, he's also does all the special effects. Has worked with Savini and like some of the greater prosthetic people that make prosthetic pieces, like Romero, all those guys. He did all the stuff for Dawn of the Dead.
I didn't know any of
all
that
the stuff, and so he has that pedigree of zombie films. He can do it, but the thing is it's turning more into Dawn of the Dead than it is The Walking Dead.
Okay,
see what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yeah, I do feel that.
And that. It's just frustrating. I love the show. I'm not trying to say that. You guys
see the frustration on Nick's face when he says that? He just gets so sad.
I have so many opinions on comic book television and cinematic stuff that like it's just stupid. I hate myself for it sometimes. I'm like,
can you even enjoy the show anymore, Nick?
No,
no.
The only show that I really truly enjoy all the way through, without questioning it, is The Flash.
Okay,
I can watch The Flash. I've watched the first season, the whole season, all the way through. I watch it while I edit, and I'll watch it just back to back, dude. I love the first season. I love the second season. I wish I could get back and watch some of the older episodes. I don't want to steal them. I don't want to be one of those guys. I actually want to support that show. Like, I love it that much. It's one of the few things that I want to
respect you so much, Nick. I respect you so much.
They just do it right, man. I just feel like it's a Flash story. Every time I watch the show, you are seeing a comic book come to life, and that's the only thing that DC's doing right now is the Flash, and it's Jeff Johns really more than anything. Yes. And Jeff Johns
doing Rebirth,
right? Exactly.
Congratulations, Jeff Johns.
We can thank Jeff Johns for a lot of stuff.
That's true.
I mean, the Flashpoint story is a really big story, and I've having Thomas Wayne as Batman and like doing that whole thing, just brilliant, man.
Yeah,
like the twist of that is just awesome.
I forgive you, Jeff John. Well, it wasn't your fault that New 52 just kind of like bombed out.
You were the creative director, but still not your fault.
Still not your fault.
You did have complete control over that, but it's not your fault. So, guys, that's going to be it for us on this Comic Talk after show. Kyle, man, have you had some fun?
I have had an incredible time.
Good, man. Well, I'd like to have you back on the show. I've really enjoyed the conversation, man.
Thanks, man.
If you guys want to follow Kyle on Instagram, his Instagram information is down in the below there. He does comedy at P&H. What
comedy
days?
At the P&H Thursdays at 9:30 from 9:30 to 10.
So if you're in Memphis and you want to see some comedy, drop by the P&H on Thursdays from 9 to 10, and you'll see this man's pretty little face there. So till next time, guys, I want to say please do not forget to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling really frisky, just give it a nice old share. So till next time, guys, take it easy.